Hey everyone, hopefully you're having a good day. My name's Andy. My channel is Finding Value. Today we're going to do our commodities update, show you what's going on around all these commodity sectors. I'll give you my financial opinion. We're going to start with the dollar, 10-year yield, and then go into precious metals and commodities. So let's dive in right now. Let's take a look and see what's going on. We've got the dollar. Again, this is a relative strength indicator. That's what the DXY is. It is heading lower. That's usually a tailwind to commodities because commodities are priced in dollars. So what that means is that people, they view that as a commodity tailwind. Looking at the 10-year yield, the 10-year yield is lower. This is a potential shoulder, head, shoulder, where this will pull on back to the uptrend line. There's an uptrend line here. Coming through this guy here where we could potentially hit the trend line. If that were to be the case, I think precious metals should do quite well. They do very well under a declining DXY and a declining 10-year yield. Looking at commodities itself, priced in dollars, this is the index. We were busting higher today. It looks absolutely fantastic. We've broken this resistance level and we're moving higher in a nice, strong fashion. So commodities across the board are looking pretty good. Gold slightly higher today, still looks pretty good. We're losing a little bit of momentum from the past 2 days, but still moving higher. Silver still moving quite well, finishing strong, looking strong. So that's silver there. And then we've got platinum. I would say platinum's lagging a little bit. We got a little wick at the top there, but I would not say it's out of the count. I think it's good. It's going to continue to go higher with the precious metals, and everything's looking all right. The XAU to gold ratio, this is gold, silver miners to gold. We did end up a little bit higher today. We went down and got bought back up. I think the mining companies look pretty good here. Again, we still need to work on this big downtrend line that we need to break for the happiness of the gold and silver miners to be realized. So we still have a lot of work ahead of us, but we're making the incremental, small, short-term steps to get us there, which is to break the downtrend line that you're in. GDX also breaking the downtrend line, very cheap down here, looking a lot better. Big picture view, we have broken below this support level, but I do think that we'll find support in here and start to turn this thing around. SILJ, another one that looks really good. We are right on this support level there. If we were to zoom in, we've broken the downtrend line and we're starting to head higher. That looks excellent for SILJ. It really looks good. Going down and looking at crude oil. Crude oil up, 2%. We did get a little wick at the top, but we are broken out of this downtrend channel. So if we can get the buyers to come in, keep the pressure on. I saw that there was lower production in the United States for the month of May. It actually declined during that month, and we'll see what the next data shows for June at whatever point that comes out. But this does look good. Looking across, we are at this support level all through in this region, and that's where we're getting that support from. Just looking at the weeklies here, I like to just look at different time frames on this, and that's where we're getting that support from going across. We also have support all through here. So lots of support right where the level is at, underneath it at least. Natural gas up 2%. Natural gas, I think, will eventually converge to world pricing. We do have this wick at the top where we slammed our face against this resistance level. We could pull back in the short term. The fall months are usually a softer period for natural gas, kind of springtime and fall time before peak demand for electricity in the summer and peak heating season. But again, I'm not doing anything with my shares. I'm going to remain long, and if we get the pullback in the fall, I'll just add to my shares. Looking at XOP, yeah, you know me, heading higher today. It is, it's chugging along. It's chugging along. It looks good. A lot of the companies themselves look really good. Hopefully, again, I say hopefully the momentum can continue. If you see oil go higher, which has broken its downtrend, I do think that these companies will continue higher with it. So those are looking good. And the natural gas companies will be trading more alongside with natural gas. OIH, the energy service companies, finishing strong today, looking strong, breaking through that other resistance line we've got there. So they're looking quite well for the oil service companies. Scrolling on down, looking at uranium, basically flat for the futures pricing of uranium. We'll go straight to the Sprott Physical Uranium Trust. We are peaking out a little bit here. We'll see if we get a little pullback or if we rip higher. But again, we've broken this downtrend line, and the momentum is upward with much larger buying pressure than selling pressure at this time. URNM continues to track higher, looks great. We've broken out of this downtrend line. We got another support line coming across here, but that looks fantastic. This could open up and run us to the upside dramatically if the buyers want to push us that way. We do need to break some of these resistance lines going across. I'm not going to draw them in yet. Let's let this develop. Let's let this mature and see where we end up. Just looking at Camco, just because I want to look at Camco, we've broken that downtrend. It's still moving higher. Everything looks pretty good in relationship to last month and the month before that. Scrolling down, going to TAN. TAN continues to show strength. Could we have gotten a retest move out of this? Yeah, I don't know. It continues to move higher. Big long-term view, this thing looks absolutely strong like bull. I think it looks great to go higher. I've said that the past couple of times. I put some information on the website if you're interested. Platinum membership in the description link below if you want to know the companies that I like in solar and wind. Looking at COPX, this is copper. I was a little bit surprised by the strength of copper here. We've got a nice good bounce off this support level on a long-term view. And today we're ripping it. We're ripping it today. So we broke the downtrend line. I thought we'd have a little bit more sideways action, but copper is ripping it. Looks good. Looks good. And a lot of the companies look good with it. Scrolling down, the CRB to S&P 500, it is still putting, I redrew this a little bit differently. It's still in a, we'll call it a falling wedge, descending wedge type formation that we still have to break out of. We could see a lower move out of the CRB to S&P 500 if the S&P 500 gets a lot of strength here. But usually wedges that are slightly descending break to the upside where the CRB index would outperform the S&P 500. But that doesn't mean it has to happen every single month and every single move. Scrolling down to the rare earth metals, they continue to pull higher. This is one that I did buy in the corner here for REMX, and it is continuing higher. It looks good. Looking at lithium, lithium's playing with its downtrend line coming through here. And I think if we get one more strong closing above this line, I should say if we get a strong closing above that line, it's going to look very positive for lithium. But I'm waiting for that move. And, you know, I would have bought it off this descending wedge here. I would have bought here and in here on the retest move here. That's where I would have been a buyer. Scrolling down, look at the S&P 500. The S&P 500's got strong strength. It's broken the downtrend line. It is in an uptrend move at this time. Looks good. And then the NASDAQ composite, US composite index, that also looks good. Broken downtrend line, new high. That looks like we're heading higher. Looks really good. And I think that's why lithium and rare earth metals and uranium and all these other sectors are up, because they are still somewhat correlated. Everything is financialized. We'll look at emerging markets here just to, because I haven't gone over that in a while. Ticker symbol EEM. We can get it to load here. Shut that down. All right, it doesn't want to be viewed. Let's go to XHB. XHB, broken downtrend, moving on higher. We're breaking through this resistance level in here. I think this looks fantastic for home builders. Again, if we're in some large recessionary crash, why are home builders going up right now? Interesting, right? Lumber heading a little bit lower. We're coming back and retesting this bottom level. This is more, it's not just demand, it's also supply driven. It's, you know, the meetup between demand and supply. Maybe they got their lumber mills running, but we're retesting this lower level here on that line at a much higher, more elevated price for lumber. Looking at cocoa futures, again, just moving sideways there. We still need to break the downtrend line. Wheat heading a teeny bit lower today, down 0.64%. But broken downtrend line, little bloody nose. It looks a lot better than what it was. Looking at soybeans, up 2.29%. Pretty strong day for these soft commodities. Heading higher, looking strong, is strong. Little wick at the top there. Getting a little bit of selling pressure. A little bit of selling pressure in corn as well. Again, I'm not really playing these. I'm playing more of the metals. The hot spot here is copper. Copper's up 3.32% at $3.59. So copper futures prices looking quite strong. If it wants to show its face here. And it's got a real strong finishing day. It's strong in this short term. Looks really good for a potential move higher if it wants to continue. It looks good. Scrolling down to Moo. Got some Moo. Broken down trend line, and it is finishing strong, acting strong, looks strong. Everything's strong on Moo right here. Looking at the big picture view, we've broken out of this big pattern. We ran a little bit, came on down, and it's getting a lot of good buying pressure here right where it's at. That looks very strong. Aluminum. Looking at aluminum, it was up 0.26%. Again, it was mainly just moving sideways here recently, but I do think it will strengthen up. We're right above a long-term support level. And then we've got the Baltic Dry Index. It was selling off today. It ended the week a little bit lower, but we're still above the trend line. So it still has some recessionary fears that it's working out of its thing here. So that's what we've got for today, guys. Uranium looks strong. Oil looks strong. Natural gas, we'll see what happens there. I wouldn't say that looks as strong. Copper looking pretty good. Overall, commodities are looking quite strong. My favorite at this time are the energy service sector and also some of those energy exploration companies, exploration production companies. Those are looking good, and there's some, I would say, some good deals perhaps in the copper area. Copper's down. A lot of people kind of wrote it off with the recession, and that's where the opportunities could be, are in some of the copper companies. This weekend, we're looking at a Sunday for the Platinum members, a Sunday question and answer session at 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. So that's what it is for the weekend. I will videotape that if you can't make it, and I'll post it on the website late Sunday. But that's what I've got going on here, guys. It's looking a lot better than what it was the past few months. And let's hope that momentum can continue. If you guys like the content, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the website below, the Platinum membership if you're interested. And we'll catch you next time. This is Finding Value.